my baby hot. Don't speak to any moment. Product of her environment. Shout out the global woman. Can't box her in with any trend. No, she's a global woman. Call Fire Marshal Bill. Now let me tell you something. Flawless, beautiful. Follow codes down to her toes. Cuticles, picking rolls with the flow. Slam dunking all the goals. Silvers for the novice and golds for the pros. Oh, my bad. What's going on, everybody out there in TV? I've been into it, Obi. In TV land, on YouTube Live. We come to you tonight to interrupt your regular scheduled program. Hey, y'all, we got a banger tonight. The mic is hot. The phone lines are ready. We about to get into this thing. But before we start, no, there ain't no TikTok Live. There ain't no Facebook Live. But I need everybody right now, while I'm doing my monologue, to click the like button. I see y'all already in the chat. I see the eyeballs up there. So y'all, it should be clicks already. Click the like button right now. As I'm doing, you're not gonna miss any part of the show by clicking the like. Click the like button. Hey YouTube. Hey YouTube. Don't forget to click that like button. It's the thumbs up. Then slide your finger on over and press the subscribe. And don't forget to click the all so you get all of notifications when we're going live or dropping new content. Lastly, share. You might ask, share this video to where? Well, most of us have Facebook, so that's where you can share it to or anywhere you desire. Yes, click the like button and share. Share with your friends right now. Tell your mom, hey, Nutz and Boltz on, y'all. Let's go. Sit down, get the popcorn. Nutz and Boltz on. So go ahead, send a text out real quick. The show don't restart until about another 3 more minutes. So send a text out real quick. Y'all got a little time. Just push share, send a text out, send Facebook, TikTok, whatever, and we're gonna get it cracking. But we also doing something new. Every time we hit the 200 milestone mark with subscribers, we're going to the chat and find 1 or 2 people and send them a gift. You must be a subscriber to participate. Again, you must be a subscriber to participate. We already hit the 200 milestone mark. Now we're going for 400. Right now, I think Obi sent Shannon a gift a while back, and then just last week, I believe, we sent another lady a gift. So we do be sending these gifts out. We're not playing. We send the gifts out for real. So again, once we get to 400, we're at where we at, Kyra? What? About 230-ish.
Ish.
So we're around 230-ish. So when we get to about 400, that'll be the next milestone mark. And then we're going to send some more gifts out. All right. So y'all know what time it is. It's Ed's story time. All right. So tonight, Ed's story time is just a question for the ladies. One simple question for the ladies. So I was talking to this young lady, and she told me this, ladies, and I want to ask you guys this question. She said only men and children eat cereal. Men and children. She said women do not eat cereal. So I want to ask this question again later on in the show when we get more people come on. I really want to know. I've been doing a survey. So Kyra and ladies in the chat, digest on that while we introduce ourselves. But again, my name is Edmund Chapman. I'm the CEO of Stop Playing Apparel, and I reside in South Carolina.
My name is Obi. Don't have a clothing line, but I reside in North Carolina.
My name is Kyra from California.
And I'm Joshua from the cold shy.
It is cold, brother. I was just there last week. Let me tell you, different kind of cold, different kind of anyway.
So Kyra, I'm gonna ask you the question one time, then I'm see what the ladies say in the chat. Then we're gonna get to the show because it's not the show. This is just a survey. So Kyra, is it true that ladies don't eat cereal? Only men and children?
Not a true statement. When I go grocery shopping, I don't buy cereal, but I have some in my cabinet. I like cereal.
Well, there you have it. Ladies, chime in the chat, and we're gonna get into the show. But yeah, that was crazy. It was crazy when she said it, and I had to think about it, like, man, really? Only men and children? But anyway, what's tonight's topic, Obi?
Woo! Man, I hate mother freaking dating. I'm sick of it, bro. Sick and tired. You don't even understand, bro. Sick and tired. Sick and tired. That's all I'm gonna say for now. But I'm sick and tired.
Ooh,
Obi. Obi sick and tired. And guess what? I'm a little pissed off too about dating. I'm a little pissed off too.
Let's
So I'm
go.
Obi. We might be some pissed off brothers on this show tonight. Kyra, you might have to control us tonight because I'm kind of pissed off with the dating game too. So we gonna get into the first question of the night. So we're gonna have our lovely producer put the first question up. And the first question simply is, do you enjoy dating? When you're actually dating, do you actually enjoy the dating process?
Yes and no. Yes, because you're getting to know somebody, but hell no, I'm tired of spending up all my loot. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it don't get you nowhere. It's fun to be out there dating, kicking it, experiencing different things with different people. But if that's not getting you nowhere, and I ain't trying to say I'm trying to get in somebody's pants, but if it ain't getting you nowhere in the long run, you're wasting your time.
I'm with you, Obi. I enjoy when we're dating someone and they're reciprocating everything back. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's relaxing. It's an enjoyable time. We're getting to know each other. We're having an awesome time. But when it's one-sided and they don't know what they're doing, listen, I can't stand dating when it's like that. When somebody say one thing, but they do it the opposite, the polar opposite of what they said, I can't stand it. And in my cutoff game, like Obi said, my cutoff game strong. I'm out of there. I don't got time for it.
For me, I'm a helpless, hopeless romantic, man. I'm looking for that teenage love. But dealing with the dating market today and what I've been involved with today, it's just not that. It's all transactional. What can you do for me? Everybody got their foot on the gas, on the speed pedal. I'm like, slow down. We gotta have a foundation and build a relationship, based on friendship. And what I've experienced is that just people be on go mode and just not in that zone. So for me, I'm looking for something more genuine, and I'm just not seeing genuine out of here. I'm not seeing real, genuine people out here. People that, everybody trying to get over. And I'm from the backdoor county of the world. So, I'm always on my P's and Q's. And that's just a lot of what I see out here, unfortunately.
And before Kyra dive in, Kyra, won't you get up? How you do, Kyra? Give a little context about dating. Get the people so people know what's going on when we're talking about dating.
Yeah, so by dating, we're talking about meeting with different people and having different experiences, whether that's going to ice cream or on a hot air balloon. It's having outings with people to get to know them and to find out if you want to continue communicating with them or not. That's the definition, kind of working definition of dating. We're not talking about full-fledged relationships, commitment. We're talking about the foundation that comes before that committed relationship and courting of dating.
So I got a question, if I might ask. What are the steps to get to that initial date? Right? Are we on the phone? Are we FaceTiming? Is there a process or procedures that you put in place to even get to that first date in the first place?
I think that's a good question, Joshua. But for me, it needs to be organic. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we should put time limits or frames or process or anything in place. If you're feeling somebody off of that initial conversation, I say go for it. But everybody doesn't think like you and me. Where Kyra may have, there's a 3 or 4 step process to get to know her. But for me, if I'm feeling you and we vibing, let's see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? I don't date more than one person at a time. So Kyra kind of confused me when she said what she said, but we'll talk about that later.
For me, I think it's gonna start off with phone conversation, Joshua. So maybe some text message, some phone conversation, and then if y'all kind of vibing a little bit, you might be like, all right, let's go out. Let's go out to catch, you know what I'm saying, a cup of coffee. Let's go out and have breakfast. Let's go out and go bowling. Something interacting, so you can actually now. I'm on the phone. I'm digging what she's saying. I'm picking up what she's putting down. Now let me see what she is when we're out together. But you know what? These ladies be lying though, y'all. They be lying. Yes, Kyra, I'm saying it. They be lying. And I know you're gonna say, well, where you finding the women at? Listen, the women in the church and the women in the street, they be on the same stuff. They be on the same stuff come to date. And I'm gonna leave it right there because I'm gonna get some more later.
So-
And you know how you can find out if they lying or not? If you ask questions and listen. Just be quiet, ask questions and listen. Hey, y'all like to talk. Women to tell on themselves.
And I love it.
What are you lying about?
Everything.
Like what? Top 3 things that women are lying to y'all about.
Their relationship status, their financial status, where they live, what they do, what they like to do for fun, what they like to do outside of work, what they like to do on the weekends. Do I need to keep going? My bad.
If people are lying to you about all of that stuff, then that seems problematic.
Or Kyra, they think
lying about their financial status. Like, why are you even in my financial business? It's not for you to be in. If we're talking, like getting to know each other, you don't need to know my credit score, my bank account information, my W-2. You don't need to know any of that.
But if I ask you a question, like, hey, what do you do for, what do you do? Yes. And you lie to me and you say, I'm a project manager, but 3 or 4 months later, I find out that you work at a grocery store. You could have just said that from the beginning. Because if I like you, I'm gonna like you anyway. You ain't got to lie to me to kick it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it 100.
My question to you all, because so many people are lying, is like, how are you posing the questions and what's making people feel like they have to lie to you about this assortment of topics? Like, is the stage not set where people can be their authentic self and let you know what they do? Are you coming off as super judgmental? Therefore, someone isn't comfortable sharing what their true occupation is? I've never heard of somebody lying about what they like to do for fun, but maybe you're coming off as controlling and they feel like they need to say what you want to hear, which isn't necessarily the truth, because they can't be their authentic self with you.
Well, they're lying then. What you just said, and then they lying.
Right, but
I got a different one though, Kyra, for you.
That they're lying. If you're talking to 10 different people, or you've had conversations or interactions with 10 different people, and all 10 people lied to you about finances, occupations, fill in the blank, you are the common denominator. So how are you posing?
Let me say this though, Kyra, to you. So say me and you was dating, Kyra, and we're talking about what are we gonna do in the case of me and you have a disagreement. We come with a game plan. We're gonna do, if we have disagreement, we're gonna call each other on the phone, or we're gonna get each other a minute, or we're gonna see each other, we're gonna talk it out, whatever we say. And then you get all this beautiful stuff, and I'm side-eyeing you because I'm like, okay. They're like, no, I'm not. Don't judge me in the last girl. Then soon as that one little disagreement happened, they go totally left. You're like, what the world? What the world? We said all the stuff you told me that was going to take place if we get into the disagreement, and you went totally left off to the first disagreement, not the second, not the third, the first. So to me, that means like, okay, you're lying then. But everything you said was a bunch of bull. That's just my opinion. That's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about no financials. That's their business. I ain't talking about financial part of it. But I'm saying that part, if we are talking about, because you always got to come with a plan if stuff go left. How do you handle it? How does your emotional intelligence? How you handle it if you have a disagreement? Blah, yada, yada, yada. And then you say all this great stuff, and no, I'm like, man, I heard that before. No, I'm not her. Please don't judge me to the next one. And then as soon as the first thing happened, you veer straight left. Like, what? That's why I'm like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people doing that. Yeah. Be 100. Be 100 in the front end. Yeah. But Kyra, go into the comments. Let's see. Joshua, go ahead, and Kyra, go to the comments. See what's going on.
Real quick. I'll just add. People present with their best self early on. It's like the honeymoon phase, right? And so if you understand that people are presenting their best self, and you got patience, and you take time, and you do your due diligence, you'll turn that discernment up, and you'll discover if people are really genuine with what they say. And it's not asking direct questions. It's just, being personable. And people, genuinely are not themselves first, and you just got to uncover that, take the steps, and uncover that. And if the person is who they say they are, then it's a go. But normally people are masked and they're hiding their genuine self initially.
That's interesting to me. Ladies, chime in the chat because y'all see me here by myself, and also
we all do
call line is open. The number is 704-891-9560. Again, chime in the chat and or call in at 704-891-9560. Let me see what they're talking about in the chat. Some people are agreeing, saying that that women be lying about who's the baby daddy. What? Like the women, your selection of women. Another person said it's the same thing with men, that men be lying too.
Yes.
And then another person said, sounds like y'all are dating childish women.
I just said the women in church and the women in the street be the same. But go ahead, Kyra. Keep going.
I don't even want to date. I don't know.
And then a person said, because one of the things that you all had mentioned, talked about, you discuss a situation and how you're going to approach and handle disagreement, and then they go left. So to that, a person said, dating today is quite concerning because not everyone is rational. Some people have a few loose screws in their heads.
Men and women. Like good point.
So we gonna keep moving on because me and Obi fired up. I'm sorry, and I want to apologize. Me and Obi on fire. We fired up, man, because we tired of it. Yes, we're gonna move on to the next question. Though we're gonna move to the next question.
Can I ask a quick question before we delve into the question? Go ahead. Where are you all meeting the women at?
I just said, Kyra, church, work,
professional events. Everybody ain't every female out there is not perfect, Kyra. Trust me.
Yeah, it's funny y'all ask that like it's only a certain segment of women who act like that.
Kyra, go check it out.
We got together, we huddled up and did our notes, and we like, all y'all be acting like that. So it's not just a certain segment of women that do that. So it's a big majority of women.
I'm tell you something funny real quick, Kyra. So this one lady told me that I cuss too much on the podcast. I said like 2 profanity words, 2. Because I went back and watched this. She like, you just cuss too much. You need to learn how to use your words better. I'm like, dang. I decided to go back and think like, man, how many did I say? I went back and watched it like, I said 2. 2, Joshua, 2.
2 might have been too many for her.
Like, damn it.
So women in the church, I'm not saying that. I'm not calling anybody like streetwalkers or anything like that. I'm just saying people you meet in the church, people you might meet at a bar. I don't go to clubs, but like a little bar, little lounge. People you meet at, like you said, work.
It's anywhere.
They be the same because people always say that, Kyra. Where are you meeting these women? I meet women at different places. The gym, they be the same.
Okay, and one quick question, because I know we're going to move on. Do you gentlemen lie about anything or tell a bit of an untruth or share information that's not 100%?
Now or back in the day?
Are y'all keeping it 100 all of the time when you're dating?
Oh, when you're dating.
I keep it 100.
That's a good question because I feel like some things don't need to be divulged or talked about. In some cases, you might seem like you hiding something or you being in a way manipulative, so to speak. But there's just some things that as a man, I can't talk to. I'm not going to talk to a woman about the ills and the things that hurt me, because I know that in some cases you might use that against me. So we have to really be careful about what we talk about, because it's on us to make it seem like we stand up men. Like it's a definition behind being a man, And it's just we just have to be careful with some of the things we say. Not trying to be deceptive or anything, but that's
So
just
are
what it
you
is.
lying or not? At the end of the
No,
day, are
I
y'all
don't think
lying?
we're
Setting
lying.
boundaries and not discussing certain things that could be painful,
Right.
triggering, that they don't need to know when you're dating. That's
Yeah.
one thing. But like misleading somebody that you make a certain amount of money or work for a certain company, the same thing that you said, that you're a project manager when you've worked
Nah.
on 2 projects. Like, are you all being 100% honest
Great
and
example.
truthful in everything? So no woman would be able to be like, yeah, Ed was
Great.
not keeping it 100. He
I think when I
Yeah.
get on a date, I'm trying to tell you everything, but I don't tell you like, because I know other women don't want to really hear about other women, even though they want to know your business, but then they get mad when you tell them like, well, the whole time you talking about your ex, I'm telling you all the wrong things went wrong with the ex. So I don't even do that anymore.
mm,
So yes, answer your question. I don't ain't nothing I have to lie about. Like it's like another good example, Kyra. Another good example. I told a young lady on the first date, I said, I was married before. I said, I got 2 children. On the first date, I told her this. We went on 3 more dates after that. Obi can contest to this. Cause I told Obi, the girl told me, oh man, you got good qualities and I love hanging out with you, but you got 2 kids and I got none, so we're not compatible. I told you on the first date. That's what I'm saying, Kyra. That's what I'm sick of it. I told you on the first date. You could have exit. I'm done. Go ahead. I'm about to go on a rant because I'm just saying. I told you on the first. Let me not cuss on the podcast. I told you on the first freaking date what it was, and then you waited till months later to say, "Oh well," like what? Women keep 100, Kyra? Do women keep it 100?
maybe, but maybe she wasn't clear and thought that it could work into something, and perhaps that was just the easiest way out that she said. Because if you identified and said, I have 2 kids on the first date, maybe in her head she was like, well, I don't normally date people with kids because I want to have kids, but I'm going to give this a chance. And so the relationship or friendship progressed, and as time went on, that was just the easy out. Like, well, you have kids, so I'm not really trying to rock with you like that.
So you're lying then.
You go lying again. But to add to your question, Kyra, I think that what a man does is who he is, and there's no reason that I should have to lie. After I worked to become really successful, I graduated college. I put myself in a position to be making such and such amount of money. I need to be talking about that. I need to be selling that as my personality and the characteristics that that has become me to be able to do that. So that's not something that that's beneficial for a man to lie about, especially if he's really doing that, and it's gonna show.
But Joshua, you don't want to necessarily leave with money though, Joshua. I don't think you should necessarily lead with how much money you're making, though.
Correct. But to my point, there's characteristic traits that a person has to develop in order to be able to make a certain amount of money. I don't have to talk about the money I make, because the way that I present myself, how I talk, conversations that I have, who I am, where I take you, what I do, speaks to all of that. So, we just had to turn our discernment up, and then we'll be able to figure out things, fairly quickly.
Right. I'm gonna hit the comments and then we're gonna move on to the next question, Ed. Several people weighed in, Ed, that it was something else you did that turned her off, and that's what she used as an excuse. Another person said, Ed, the young lady enjoyed those free meals and used the kids as her out. And then another person said, she didn't like you. She made an excuse. It was probably something else. So just some constructive feedback of what sometimes other people see that we don't see. Next question. Let's go.
Hey, Kyra, before we go to the next question, let me I want to read one comment that you didn't read, and I think that maybe Ed and Joshua and the men in the chat can relate to it. Like, instead of the small talk, we'd rather skip to the relationship, get to know somebody deeply. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time to Shit. I mean, I do. Let me stop. Let me not say that. But the small talk, let's go straight to the deep stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no need for me to know, what your favorite TV show is if you and I ain't gonna connect on a bigger level anyway. You know what I'm saying? I I don't mind sharing my hobbies with you, but if we ain't gonna go do something like active, like the hobbies that I like to do or the hobbies that you like to do, we're wasting time, especially at some of the ages that we are.
Good job, Obi. And I'm not gonna comment back. Go back to the other question. We never read it. Go back to the other question. We never read that one. So I'm not gonna comment on what the people said in the chat. We're gonna keep going because I know me. I know my value. So I'm not going. I know my value. I know my value. So next question is, you see this, Ty Joshua? Let's stop playing. Do you feel like you're repeating certain patterns in your dating life? Do you feel like you're repeating certain patterns in your dating life? And like, it's so crazy, y'all. So I try to change it up, but the crazy thing, I no cap. I promise you, I'm not lying. I can literally tell the woman, Kyra, remember this back in the day, I'm chilling, and she be ready to marry a mofo. She be married to marry a mofo. But then when I change the pattern up and I'm starting to court the woman, she be like, "Oh, I'm blah blah blah, this that other." Like, dude, what the world? What do y'all want?
Wow.
I swear, I can bad women, bad women, bad chicks. I can say, man, I'm chilling, man. They in love. I'm like, what? But as soon as I like, all right, let's do something different. Let's change the pattern up of what you've been doing in the past. Let's go on dates. Let's get to know these women. Let's, do all this stuff. Those are the ones to be like, I'm good. I'm straight. It's crazy.
Hey, but Ed, let me ask you a question. When you say to the women that you're talking to or dealing with, when you say I'm chilling, do they understand what that really means?
Oh, good question.
Some have asked what it means, and I'll be like, it all depends on what point of life I was at. Mm-hmm. When I told y'all on here, I told them like I'm just literally chilling. I'm like, on nothing. I'm not out here freaking up people because people thought that's what it meant. I was like, no, I'm just literally chilling. Mm-hmm. And I remember I told y'all on the podcast, I didn't know people thinking a certain way. I told y'all on here, but like I said, I changed the pattern up. Like, all right, Ed, let's just get out of this chilling phase and let's change the pattern. Let's change what you've been doing. And somebody told me, my wise counsel told me, like, don't change what you've been doing. What you've been doing is working. It's just who you've been seeking has not been working. He said, what you've been doing, being yourself, has been working for you. If you crack jokes, you might use a little profanity, you genuine guy, all that stuff you are, that's you. Don't change who you are. Just change the person you're picking. I said, oh, yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Somebody, Kyra, jump in.
So I don't have a lot of experience dating. And I don't really have a lot to compare to. I've went out on like a date or two with people. And after that date, I already know if I'm going to like continue to talk to you or if I don't want to have anything else to do with you. And so
does that consider you just getting a free meal from somebody? Because in my opinion, you should have had small talk. But I'm sure you had small talk with those guys before you went out with them.
Right. And there was small talk and there was different communication, but I don't need a sponsor. I don't need a free meal from anybody. And to be honest with you, I would be fine. And I'm always prepared if I am going out with somebody, whether that's to a steakhouse or to Italian or to get ice cream. I'm always mentally and financially prepared to go Dutch and to pay for myself. Me personally, I don't need a free meal from anybody. And additionally, I'm not going to ask somebody, if somebody were to ask for a date, I would let them pick where we're going to. So I'm not going to say, oh, you need to take me to Ruth Chris and spend this amount of money, because I'm not that woman. And so I didn't go for a free meal. I went to see what it would be like to spend time with this person in person as opposed to over the phone or through text messages.
Yeah. So I'll answer the question, do you feel like you're repeating certain patterns in your dating life? And I have to say, yes, I have, unfortunately. And again, I'm a hopeless romantic. I care so much for the person that I want in my life, and I want to give them my all. But it wasn't until I discovered that I'm picking these bad women and I'm repeating these negative patterns that is a reflection of me and myself. So it wasn't until I started looking into who I am, what I'm doing, what direction I need to go, and put a little more care and concern, that same care and concern that I'll give to, other women in relationships, put that into myself, that I discovered that I want certain things. I want to be able to move a certain way with the woman that I want to deal with. I have these expectations. Oh, those are boundaries that I need to be able to attain these certain things from relationships. So yes, I was repeating the certain patterns, and I had to look internal and fix some things inside of myself to be able to decide, even if it meant not dating for years. Those are some certain things that I had to look internal to kind of figure out to stop repeating these same negative patterns that put me in the same position that I've been in, for the last 30 years of my life.
Joshua, can I ask you a question real fast?
Yes, sir.
So since you fixed yourself, do you think now is them, or you think you still need more work?
Well, I don't believe I fixed myself. So I do need
Okay.
more work, right? I'm just getting myself in the gym. There's habits and things that I've formulated over the years that attribute to that type of behavior. I'm trying my hardest to cut that stuff out, right? Being extra lustful. I know I can go out here and bang up everything that I can put my hands on. That's easy. But is it easy for you to have discipline in that area to be able to discover the person that you need to be in your life? So it's always a work in progress. You got to think of it like AA, you know what I'm saying? One day at a time, you feel me? And it's always something that you continue to work on till you ultimately reach that goal that you're looking for.
I wanted to piggyback off of the question and ask you, gentlemen and people in the audience, Joshua, I heard what you said in terms of like you did some searching and analyzing and found out that it is you that's making the same, that's doing the same thing over. And so do you all do, I don't know if this is like a woman thing or male thing, but there was a book I was glancing at and it recommended like writing down your dating to be able to identify, like, is there a pattern? Are there conversations that come up? And I'm not saying like journal every single thing, but just overarching high level, what's happening with this person, what's happening with this person, to be able to see if I did these 3 steps or asked these 3 questions these 3 times, maybe I should try switching up the question or the conversation so that maybe it would be a different result. And then trying that, analyzing that information to see what worked and what didn't work. So do you all do that? Or is it just like, I'm gonna date this baddie and date this baddie and date this baddie? Like maybe the common denominator is that they're all baddies on the outside,
I,
but
I,
on
I,
the inside, they're goodies.
I don't believe in like, okay, I want to date somebody that look nice. Don't get it misunderstood. But I don't believe it's about Joshua and Obi can bag me up about just dating baddies anymore. We want to date a woman that looks okay. So a woman that looks good to me might not look good to Joshua and Obi, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So it's not just dating that the baddest woman I see, but that is a good point you made, Kyra, because maybe we all need to do some stuff like that. Some self, like I did, like Joshua did after my divorce. I did some self-reflection. I did some work. I didn't date for a while. I didn't sex nobody for a while. I just basked in myself and like, all right, what can you change, Ed? What have you been doing wrong? And what patterns you've been leading? Oh, you just been trying to, know what I'm saying, you dig. So let's get away from that part and let's get to a whole new realm of scope of dating women. So no, I have not wrote things down, but I have been intentional when I'm dating. I'm eye contacting you. I'm engaged in the conversation. I'm asking you questions. I'm sitting back and let you ask me questions. We're having a dialogue back and forth with each other, so I can process it. Is she someone that I can see in the future? Because I'm not dating just to. I don't think no one at our big ages is dating just to smash or just to date. We're dating to get married to that person. You know, if we're taking the time to go on 2 to 3 dates, we're interested in, like, I want to go further. I'm not about to be dating this baddie and then this one and then that one. Like Obi said, you can't, and we had a podcast about this before, you can't date multiple women with attention. It's not even possible. It's not. If you give everybody, you can't spread yourself that thin. But I like the point of what you said, Kyron. I think I would do that and see what's going on with the questions you said, like that. If I'm asking the same questions, what answers I'm receiving from these people. So that is that's a good one.
You know, this is really why we need women in our life, because that whole process of writing it down and journaling, that's a very feminine way of thinking that, you know, gives us another insight. We always do inventory. We're always checking and doing our double checks, but to write it down and analyze it, I mean, that's why we need y'all.
And it could be a note. It doesn't have to be like, "Dear Diary, it's Ed. The sun is shining." It could be a note, like, went out to, you know, the steakhouse with XYZ. The conversation wasn't flowing. Maybe you should start with going out for ice cream or to a picnic. Does that change the conversation? Does that change her trying to make you her sponsor? Or, you know, does the environment change the conversation?
Obi, before you dab in, Obi, let me plug this real quick. Hey, so the phone line's open. The phone line's open, 704-891-9560. Again, the phone line are open. It's open, 704-891-9560. And we have a bunch of people watching. We got a bunch of people in chat. So make sure y'all clicking that like button. At the end of the show, I want to see a lot of likes. So we got a lot of people watching right now. We're about to dab deep. Go ahead, Obi.
All right, and I'll go real quick because I know we got a lot of people watching and got more questions that we need to ask. But for me, it was like reinforcing my relationship with God. I've always had a strong base with Him, but just reinforcing that, like Ed said, staying in touch with people that give you wise counsel. And for me, when I enter into a relationship, communication is big, and I know I say that on every podcast. But you can ask one person one question 10 different ways, and you'll get to know them on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? I may not ask you, you know, what's the weather going to be, but I may ask you something like that. I just kind of want to see what your answer is going to be. Because if I'm going to get to know you, I'm going to get to know you. I want to know everything about you. And Ed knows I'm selfish. I don't like to share. So, hey, I want to know all from you personally.
I ain't sharing my baddies.
I would want to date you.
I try to hide it.
I wanted to add something. And I'm curious to know, because I actually love the spiritual context that Obi just brought to the conversation. Have you all prayed to God for guidance or for like that direct line or connection, or done the work on yourselves to be open and ready for the person that God sent you? So have you went about it God's way? And I'll just add a quick story to that before I go, or before you answer. I know someone, and she had different relationships. She started doing some soul searching, worked on her relationship with God, grew a lot spiritually, decided to be abstinent and just focus on herself. There were people that she was talking to, but like starting, I think in the month of November, she just like cut everybody off and was only dating God. So that happened. And then fast forward, maybe like 2 months, there was someone that she had connected with in the past from like a Christian conference. And so that person kind of re-entered her life. And she was working on herself, saying, I'm preparing myself for my husband. And God, you know, you said this, and I'm preparing myself. And so currently she is dating someone. It's like a long distance relationship, but it's someone that's in alignment with her Christian values, that she met at the Christian conference. They're able to discuss different things. And they're going to connect sometime soon, but they're going to they're going to another conference actually, but they're going to stay in 2 separate rooms. So like the lust and different things isn't going to be there because she's doing it God's way. So my question is, have you all went to God in prayer about like guidance or him sending you the person that is right for you? And I can answer that myself. I have not.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, I have a whole list of things that I'm asking God for, and at the bottom of that, maybe I'll talk about that. But I think that as you work to, ask God to heal you, fix you, and build you in other capacities, that ultimately, once you get down to, the woman or the relationship part, you'll be in a position to receive it.
Go ahead, Obi. I'll go
Yeah,
last. Go ahead, Obi.
for me, I have, like I said, my prayer life has been strengthened recently. But before, the type of woman that I wanted, I was very particular and saying, "Hey, God, I want somebody that's this size, this weight, looks like this skin tone." And I realized that what I was praying for and what I was getting wasn't aligned with what God had in plan for me. So I
Mm.
had to circle back and back up and say, okay, hey God, if you want me to have this, I'll wait. I'd rather do what's best for me in the long run and be in alignment with you than go out there and pick and choose the wrong person just because I like her skin complexion or her eye color or what kind of clothes she wears or her, the size of her booty. Been there before, done that, didn't work.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And for me, at first, no. I used to tell God what I want, like Obi just
Mhm.
said. God, I want this, or I want Kyra. Bless me to date Kyra. You know what I'm saying? Now I say, God, who do you want me to have? Bring her into my path. So every day I get up at 4:10 in the morning, every single day. If I'm off work or I'm at work, at 4:10, I pray every day. I don't care what I'm doing. I stop working, whatever. At 4:10 a.m., I stop and I pray. And that is one of my first prayers I say. First, after I say, God, I say, God, you're good. I love you. You're merciful. You're wonderful. After I say all that, I say, God, let me die to self. I no longer want to be on the steering wheel. I don't want to be the driver of this.
Yeah.
I want you to bring who you want. You know what I like, because God ain't gonna get you something total opposite what you like. He gonna bring what you like still, but he gonna bring that woman, that specific woman for you. I said, bring what you want me to have into my path. Let's have a collision course of love. I don't want to pick anymore because I've been picking wrong apparently. Because maybe having 2 kids is pretty much wrong. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. But I've been doing the picking most of the time. I've been doing the seeking. So now I'm like, God, bring that lady into my life, and whatever you bring into my life, make it plain, make it simple, and I'm going to be like, okay, this is God, because she's gonna have everything I want. Our values are gonna align. We're gonna be equally
Yeah.
yoked. People don't know about equally
Yeah.
yoked, but that means y'all
Yeah.
are on the same path wave. When you're equally low, you're just on the same path wave with your religion, with your mindset, with raising kids. You on the same path. That's what pretty
Yeah.
much equally yoked means. And we're gonna be equally yoked, but it's gonna be someone, God, you put in my life, not someone I asked you for. So yes, Kyra, I do that now. Every day, and that's part of my prayer. And I'm sorry, Josh. It's not the bottom. It's at the top of my because I
That's what's up.
do want to be married again. I do
Yes,
want
sir.
to have
Yes,
love,
sir.
find love. I am well equipped now to be a husband from the wise counsel, from the divorce. I am very much equipped to make a woman very, very happy in a marriage.
And then my last question to wrap this question up. Um are you all seeking like friendships with these people that you're dating before it goes further?
I think
Explain that a little bit more. Like, go a little bit deeper, Kyra, with that.
Like, so for me, if I'm dating somebody, like, it's important that we like have a good time, that we can talk about different things, different conversations, whether that's politics, religion,
I'm not
sports.
quite sure how to help you
Um,
with that.
I want to like have that foundation. So like once I get to know you and decide you don't annoy me, or I can deal with the way you chew or whatever, and I want to take the next step, like seeing like, yeah, you're somebody that could be a good friend, and that our relationship could develop like in a friendship and then bloom into a relationship.
I think you have to
Go
be
ahead.
married to your best friend, in my opinion. I want to be married to somebody that I can't live without. You know, I like going to watch football. I want to be able to take my spouse to wherever I go to watch football, whether I go to Ed's house to watch football or I go to a sports bar to watch football. I want to be able to take my spouse to that location. And I want to be her best friend also. You know, I want her to pillow talk with me, and I want her to say, hey, babe, you want to get a manicure and pedicure? Yeah, let's go. Because I'm your best friend and you mine. I want to be able to do any and everything that me and Joshua do on the side with her. And I want her to do any and everything with me that she would typically do with Kyra. Now that doesn't mean that she's not gonna be Kyra's friend, and that doesn't mean that me and Joshua ain't gonna still be boys, because we are. But my best friend is gonna be my spouse. Period. Hands
Yeah.
down.
You know, I think that the problem with relationships now is that, I mean, it goes back to what I said earlier about the, you know, being genuinely in love with someone and really loving someone. I think the foundation of those relationships are built upon friendships. And a lot of women and men as well disqualify themselves from even getting into a relationship because they got their foot on the gas, pedal on the metal, trying to get to something that they perceive that they need to get to, and initially skipping the foundational phase of building a friendship with an individual. So the whole house collapsed when they speedball like that, and when you speedball like that. So I'm definitely looking to become friends with someone first, and I've disqualified a lot of women, you know, in that instant, just because they don't want to take the time to become friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, Ob and Joshua, I look at it totally different, and I don't
Okay.
discredit nobody. No, I don't
Okay.
discredit the way somebody else look at it. I'm not
Yes,
trying to
sir.
be your friend at the beginning. I'm just trying to get to know you. I'm not trying to be on the because I get on the friend zone. I might be out of the dough, or you might be out of the dough. We get on the friend zone level. So I'm like Obi. I kind of agree with Obi said. Once we embark in a relationship, then yes, you should be my best friend.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I should confide in you before I confide in Obi. I could confide in you before I confide in my cousin, you know, because you should be my best friend. Number one, over any friend I had, I don't care. You should be on top of all of them once we in that relationship. But once I'm just dating you, I'm not really trying to be your friend. I'm just trying to get to know you and getting to know you. Let me know if I want to cut you off. I feel I don't have to be your friend per se, or be a good friend to let me know that I don't want to be with you or be with you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I don't have to be
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah.
man, me and Kyra gotta be good friends. Oh, now we good friends. And I'm like, okay, now I like Kyra, now let's date. Now I might be like, nah, Kyra, that's my homegirl now. Like I might start looking at her different. So I'm just looking at Kyra on level, and I always use Kyra because Kyra is my homie.
Yeah.
I just look at Kyra like, man, she cute, you know what I'm saying? I want to get to know her. Now we on the phone getting to know each other. We're not knowing each other as friends per se. We just
Yeah.
engaging in conversation. But I'm not trying to be Kyra's friend. No way. Not at all. No. And
I
that's just
get
my
it.
take on it. You know, but once we get into the marriage, I do want us to be best friends. Even once we get into not even the marriage, once we get to a relationship. Once we say we are committed in a relationship, then that becomes my best friend.
Just to add, there's a difference between friend zone, right?
Right.
They got a whole different kind of. I'm not finna be orbiting or in your back pocket or chilling in the friend zone. Real talk. But great point, Ed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But do you think that can happen? I'm sorry.
Being friendship quality, like a friendship quality person. I guess maybe I should have rephrased that different, because I'm not saying be in the friend zone. And someone commented like that you can't be friends if there's a sexual attraction, and we're gonna have a conversation about that a little bit later on this year. But I just think that friendship is important, because like having someone that you can talk to about your day, or only having certain like different situations or different categories that you can talk to that person about, and just not being able to be your full self, to me, is something. But I hear and understand what y'all are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to move on, but quick, I want to ask you a quick question. And I know we got to move on, and I mean, conversation is really good to me because it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you said that you want to be able to talk to me about different things going on. So you saying I got to be your friend for you to be able to talk? Like if we're not friends, then you can't open up and talk to me about stuff, even though because we're kind of we're trying to date. So
Right.
I'm kind of
I want to
confused a
be
little bit.
I want to be able to be myself with you. So I want to be able to tell a crazy joke or say or talk about somebody or say something far from left field and just be 100% comfortable and just vibe and not need to be like, oh my gosh, I can't talk about sports with him, or oh, I can't talk about this with him, and like not be my true self, or like, oh, if I did this, I wonder if he's going to judge me, or different things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not saying be best friends, but I'm saying, to me, having that friendship quality and component of somebody that is trustworthy, or somebody whose opinion matters to me, or somebody that I can use as a sounding board, and that will be able to say, to listen to what I'm saying and say, yeah, but the reality is this. So just that friendship component. I'm not saying we need to have matching best friend necklaces or
No.
anything like that.
No, I hear you saying, Kyra. I'm just thinking like Kyra gonna be Kyra because I know Kyra. I feel you gonna be you no matter what. Ed gonna be
Mhm.
Ed no matter what. So I don't
Yeah.
think I could change of like, man, can I crack a joke with X, Y? True story. One time, I always have some true stories. My ex-wife told me do not crack a joke when I first met her mother. Her mother. I'm Ed. Totally forgot. I cracked jokes when I walked in the door because I'm
What are
Ed.
we
Like
doing?
I just forgot.
Yes, sir.
And the mother laughed. So I was like, my point is, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to be myself when we're
Yeah.
talking on the
But
phone.
that's
So,
case
so
in
that's being,
point.
mhm.
That's
Yeah.
case in point to my example, because a person was telling you not to be yourself and not be who you are when you meet somebody for the first time. And there's people that are talking or dating or whatever you want to say, and they're not comfortable being their true selves with that other person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we hit the comments? Then we're going to go to the next question. A couple of quick comments, then we're going to go to the next question. That's good. That was good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of those fears, people having fears of different relationships, they don't allow themselves to truly put themselves out there. They keep it surface level. So kind of circling back to not being able to be themselves. Talked about like being able to be vulnerable and to feel safe, and just to be your true authentic self when you are talking to somebody. And also like for me, just reflecting on that last comment, it kind of triggered something, because to me, I can be super judgmental about like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they wore that, or these type of people get on my nerves, and different things like
Ira.
that. So the way that I'm talking could prevent a person from being their true selves, because I always have something to say. And it could be like, oh, well, I'm not gonna say that, or oh, I don't want to get this reaction out of her, so I'm just gonna, not say anything, or not comment, or not share my true feelings. And it could be the same way if the roles were reversed with the genders.
But Kyra, that speaks to your point, right? If I've taken the time to become friends with you, learned you, understand that that's who you are and your personality, I'm not going to be that offended. That's
Mm-hmm.
Kyra. She's doing the Kyra
Right.
thing. So I think that's it's important component.
Yeah. Let's hit the next question.
That makes a good point. Y'all on fire. I like it. So the next one is go ahead, Kyra, read the next one.
Have you been meeting people who align with your values and goals? It kind of, to me, it's kind of like a catch-22 in this question, because if you were meeting people that aligned with your values and goals, then more than likely you wouldn't be sick and tired of dating, because
Yes.
you would have
No, I have, Kyra.
meshed
I
and
have.
connected with someone.
So if we go back to the girl I told y'all about, and I'm it kind of pissed me off a little bit, so I'm getting over y'all. I'm getting over it. But our values and goals did align. Like, we both were gym heads. We both believe in God. We both had good jobs. We both had good conversation. Our values and goals was aligned. It is, I had kids and she didn't. So I felt like, yeah, it did align. You know, because we both were like straight gym rats. Like I said, and a lot of I feel like a lot of, and Obi knows the backstory, because Obi knows the same person I'm talking about. And Obi, don't you feel like some of our values and goals is aligning?
A lot of them did, but I'll speak very briefly. And I don't want to interrupt you, but
No, go ahead.
Sometimes when I meet people whose values and goals align with me, maybe my values and goals don't align with them. You know, I may have thought that I met the perfect person, but because I may, like, if I took her to a sports bar and had a drink, that could have upset her. If she heard me like curse, like Ed said, somebody heard him curse, that could upset her. You know, I'm not an alcoholic by far. I don't curse a lot. But you know, certain things trigger certain people. So initially, my values and her goals all that could align. But if I do something that pisses her off and that throws a red flag at her, and vice versa, it's not gonna work out.
Yeah, you know, that's one reason why I kind of put the brakes on the dating scene and experiences, because I just, you know, I got high expectations for myself. I got high values and high goals, and I can't tolerate dealing with people who, you know, I got high expectations for myself. I got high expectations for them as well. So when I get to the point where I'm in the room or in environments with people who has the same high expectations, then I'll get there. But unfortunately, I'm on cruise control.
It's gonna happen when it's time, bro. It's gonna happen in God's time.
That's right. That's right.
That's why I went back. That's why Obi does. I said, God, you bring her. I'm tired. God, you bring her. Like you said, like Obi said. So therefore, it would be in God's timing. So I could sit back, like Joshua just said, put the brakes on it, and when God bring her, I'm like,
absolutely,
bingo. There you go.
And we got to understand that it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to be in kind of, you know, a mode where you're figuring things out for yourself. No decision is a decision as well. So just take your time, man. You know, you'll find it.
Kyra, do you want to answer, or you want to move on to one more?
I haven't really been doing that much meeting people. So I would say overarching, I guess, kind of no. And maybe a topic for another discussion could be like different ways to meet people. Because I know that there are, I haven't been that successful in dating, but at the same time, there's different things that I will and won't do. And maybe I should be more open, but I'm not going to do online dating. Then there's like matchmaking. Then there's also like by letting people like family and relatives know that you're available, or asking excuse me, if they know someone.
No.
So I think there's different areas, and maybe that could be a topic for a later discussion, because it's like, yeah, you're not dating, but are you even open to the different ways of dating? For me, am I going places? Not really. I work from home. Am I paying attention in the grocery store to somebody that might be looking at me? Sometimes.
Kyra, you at home, you're on the computer all day. Click on that little singles link.
Huh?
I said you're at home on the computer all day. Click on that little single. What's it called? Meet.com, match, whatever it's called.
No, sir.
All trash.
But that could be for another conversation for another day, and, you know, approachable and different things like that.
Yeah.
jump back into the comments, and we're gonna try to squeeze in 2 more if we can, guys. Again, the call line is open. Kyrie about jumping to the chat, but the call line is open 704-891-9560. Again, we're gonna try to dive into two more questions if we can, if the time permits. But it's been good. Go ahead, Kyrie.
A person said your values and goals should be aligned until y'all live together. Yeah, we'll go to the next question.
Okay, so y'all live together, just like go. Okay. Oh, okay. Anyway, hey Joshua, you want to read the next question out, brother?
The next question is: have you fallen short in key areas in life that cause dating issues? Wow. And so, if I can take the first stab at it, I'd say yes. Struggling with, just a lot of things that you have to deal with in life. So, yeah. And then you understand that, like I said earlier, we always take an inventory of what it is that, are making us make decisions or leading us in a certain direction in life. And we take inventory of that data and we analyze it and we try to make sure that we do things better the next day. So yes, I have fallen short. Like Ed, I had an ex-wife, 2 kids, but I think Ed, my twin, because we went through the same thing, literally. And then so right through that experience, you learn, you build, and you grow. So yes, I have fallen short, and I recognize those shortcomings, which is the biggest predictor on changing those bad habits. So we all human, right?
Yeah, I can kind of concur with what you said, Joshua. I think I fell short too. For me, as soon as I got divorced, I intentionally, like a fool, wanted to date somebody that looked just like my ex-wife.
Yes, sir.
It was intentional. She had to be. I'm 6 feet. I wanted somebody 5'3" and below. She was light skinned. I wanted somebody light skinned. She had hazel eyes. I wanted somebody with hazel eyes.
Same thing.
Horrible. That was the worst 8 years of my life. The worst 8 years of my life. But through reconnecting with God, hanging out with the right folk, getting in groups that matter, I know a whole lot better now. I ain't know this 10 years ago. I just wanted somebody to look just like her.
Yeah.
And God gave it all to me.
Sure did.
He did. He did.
He give you what you want.
And I'm sorry for people that don't like cursing, but he humbled my ass. For real.
Yes, sir.
He humbled my ass. And I learned a valuable lesson. And I ain't going back. Not going back.
Have you fallen short in key areas in your life that cause dating issues? I think before I was very argumentative. I go toe to toe with you. You want to go? We can go. We go toe to toe. And a lot of times I was wrong. I was like, hey, I stood up. If I'm wrong, I stood on that wrong.
Yeah.
You going to prove me right? I stood on my wrong. But like I said, after the divorce, and I think when you get married and get a divorce, if you don't change, something's totally wrong with you.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the man or you're the woman. If you don't change after the divorce, you was the problem. You're the problem. I don't give a. Oh, I'm a coach too. I don't give a damn if you was the man or the woman. If you did not change after your divorce, you was the problem. And so after the divorce, then I stopped being so argumentative. I was like, you know what? Okay. I went to the fact of just shutting down, not saying anything. But I heard that that's not a good way to do it either. You still have to say something. So I think, those areas I did fall short in with being argumentative. But now I just try to have more intelligence and think about what I'm saying. I joke a lot, but if somebody want to have a really deep conversation, I know how to cut the jokes off and really pay attention. So now I don't think I fall short in any data issues, unless you want somebody that makes like $200,000 and I don't make $200,000. So, or you want somebody that's 6 feet tall? I'm not 6 feet tall. So,
Kyra, what about you? Have you fallen short in key areas in life that cause dating issues?
I would say so. I think like with being judgmental, also being like having baggage in terms of thinking there was a time that I was like, all men are dogs, they lie, they cheat, they're all the same. So I've definitely had that mentality before and like brought that into a relationship, having that what is that called? When you not self-conscious, but you kind of think that things are going to happen because you're
Yeah,
judging the next man for what the previous person did, like
yeah,
being insecure.
Mhm.
I've had that before.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so just learning to one area that I've really grown in is learning to treat a person, caring about the relationship to the point where the question is asked like, would I want him to do that to me? So whether
Ooh.
that's texting somebody, having a
Mhm.
conversation at the grocery
yeah.
store, being in somebody's DM,
Oh
would
yeah,
I want him to do that to me? And if the question is no, like not doing that and not moving forward. So I've learned to value different relationships. Um, so yes,
yeah.
have
Really treating
fallen
people
short,
how they want
have
to be
grown.
treated. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to we can get to another one. I don't see nothing really related to this.
Mm.
So let's go to another question. Would you rather have a good average person or would you rather have a good average person or be alone? Again, would you rather have a good average person? And average, I guess, can be I don't know. It could be just a normal plain Jane or a normal, I ain't gonna say a simp, but I guess a normal guy, or be alone.
That's
Yeah,
kind of a
let's
tricky
define
question
average.
to
It is. It's
me.
very tricky.
So I'm okay with like I don't need a superhero. You don't need to be on the Avengers or anything like that for us to have a relationship. I'm fine with a regular person, but that regular average person needs to be able to meet me where I am and to meet my standards and expectations. Um, which is there could be somebody that makes that 200,000, Ed, that you were talking about, and they're above average financially, but when it comes to how they treat me because of how much money they make, they are a narcissist and they speak down to me and they don't meet my standards. So no, I don't want to date somebody that could be above average and doesn't meet my needs. So it's about just meeting my needs and standards,
Yeah,
and being able to pour into me, whether you're average, above average. I'm
yeah.
not really making a goal of below average people right now. So that's my answer.
I think it's different for men and women, right? Because it's not symmetric. We want different things. So when it comes to like you speak about a woman who thinks about an average man, that's an average earner. Speaking about a man who want an average woman, that's an average looker. And I must say that I have dated some beautiful ugly women. You know what I'm saying?
Daddies.
Some pretty ugly women,
Yes,
right? And
Lord.
that just goes back to what you were saying, Kyra. The individuals who's making that high earning money can be a narcissist. And that's the same thing that we deal with as men. These women are beautiful, high average, above average, but they're narcissistic as well. So if you put it in those contexts, give me average. I'll get average, or I'll be alone.
Hey, same here. I'd rather take an average good person than be alone. Like Joshua said, I've dated doctors that are
Wow.
beautiful but
Yeah.
horrible, narcissistic, lying ass doctors. So Give me the average Joe, the average Jonette every day. Every day. Long as she's cute. She gotta be cute though. She gotta be cute.
So
Just gonna
can't be
put
no
that out
mud
there.
duck.
Nah,
No
can't
mud.
be no mud duck at all.
Well,
But I can't wait to hear Ed's answer.
if we go off with Joshua definition, no, I don't want an average woman. Because what he just said, his definition. Say the definition. Wait, Joshua, say it again. A man average is what?
A woman views an average man or high earning man or whatever that category is financially. We view it in looks, so to speak. Look, so to speak.
That there you go. So I don't want an average woman when it comes to looks.
Say that, Ed. Say that.
I'd rather be alone. I would rather be alone than have an average looking woman. That's just like ain't nobody turn their heads. Like nobody said nobody sat down. They call me vain.
Bro.
Go ahead. I don't care. Y'all know Ed say what Ed wants to say.
It's gonna be Ed at the end of the day.
Ed gonna be Ed. Like, no, I don't want no average looking woman. No.
Hey, it is what it is.
I feel you, brother. I feel you. Hey, I know you too. I know you.
So I'm gonna throw one last curveball out there. We got like a couple seconds left. I'm gonna throw one last curveball out there for everybody. Oh, there you go, right there. Is dating like having a part-time job? This is gonna be the last one we're gonna dive into tonight.
Let me hit a comment before you.
Oh, go ahead. Hit the comment. Hit a couple
Sorry,
of them.
because I like this comment. Or I'm gonna read two comments. One person said, "I want a good average person, but I'm still alone right now." And then another person said, "Most people are average, but most folks want someone who society says is well above average, i.e., looks, money, social status, etc."
Yeah.
And then one last one. For real, this is the last one. If we're all being truthful, most people think like Ed in terms of like you want somebody that is. All right. Is dating like having a part-time job? Let's wrap this up.
Jesus Christ, it's some hard work. That's a full-time job. You working 16-hour shifts with the callbacks and the texts and make sure.
Hey, hold on real quick, Joshua. Hold on real quick. I want to make the story. I'm sorry, Joshua. I want you to give your final comment and then give us a nugget to take home. Give us a nugget after you finish taking home. Then we're gonna go around the board so we can get up out of here.
Absolutely. So yes, dating is like having, in my opinion, it's like having a full-time job. It's a lot of work that you got to put in to be able to bear the fruits of that labor. So if you're really willing to put in the work, it's really easy work, right? It's a full-time job, but it's really easy work because if it's worth what you're doing, then you're gonna put in the work to receive the benefits from that. So love being in love, date when it's on time. Definitely make sure you speak to God about that situation and make sure you position yourself to get whatever you want to get up out of life. Absolutely.
Obi, go ahead next.
For me, dating is a part-time job where women get all the benefits and we don't get any. We just out there living haphazardly. I'm sorry, Kyle. I didn't mean to say that, but it's working.
We working.
We work. We don't get the benefits. We don't get any benefits. But communication is key, and I'll keep saying that communication is everything. And when you guys are out there dating, date with intention, date with a purpose. Don't be out there just dating just to date. And that's all I
have. For me, I'd say that it probably is like a part-time job, and I think that anything that is worth having and a high priority is going to be worth working for and putting work into in terms of like your work-life balance, in terms of balancing things with your child or your family and time with that person, getting to know them, dating, doing things, stuff like that. So I think that it definitely takes time and patience, and could be like a part-time job. And in the end, if you do it with the right person, it should be worth your while? Like, do I always want to work 9-hour days? No, I don't. But when I get paid every other Tuesday, am I thankful that I did? Yes, I am, because of the benefits that I have from putting in that work. I say just be true to yourself and really like do the work in terms of sometimes people say, what is the person bringing to the table? Or and I've heard people say I am the table and different stuff like that. But like asking yourself, what are you bringing to the table and what type of person do you want to be at your table with you? I have one more thing to add. This is a request. So I see that we have different people watching and the likes are not matching how many people are watching. So my challenge for y'all right now that are in the chat, because you know the chat is fire, I would like everybody in the chat right now to click on the like button. It's the thumbs up button. All right, there we go. And I see 2 people liked. I need like 8 more people to click like.
Tell them, Carol. Tell them.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you for all the new. We got a lot of new people to watch, just join today. So thank you to all the new people who was joining the podcast tonight. Thank you for joining. Hope you guys are subscribing. Appreciate that. I see DJ Play in the comments. Shout out to DJ Play. He used to be a part of our team. So I just want to say shout out to DJ Play. I see you in the comments. So what I want to say, yes, I think I agree with Joshua on when you're dating, it's almost like a full-time job because you have to date with attention. You got to show them attention. You got to show them up. Yeah, you got to date with intention and you got to show them attention. You got to conversate with them. You got to text them. You got to go out with them. You got to do a whole lot of stuff when you're dating that one person. So it is like a full-time job to me. But I want to leave you guys with this. I know we kid and laugh and joke and have a good time on the podcast, but on all seriousness, don't really be sick of dating. Just start picking the right one. And that starts off with making sure you are the right one. Start with the word. Joshua said it 1,000 times tonight, and I kid and I joke. He said, if y'all wasn't listening, go back and rewatch. Start off with making sure you're the right person. Make sure you got all your ducks lined up, all your T's are crossed, all your I's are dotted. Start off with you. Like Michael Jackson said, I'm looking for the man in the mirror. I know, I'm sorry, Kyrie. But no, for real, start off with you. And then when you make yourself stand out, the process is going to be so much better. And then you'll be able to get the pick of the litter. So start off with the work with you and just don't be sick of dating. We joke about it, we have fun about it, but start off with you. If you'd like to be on next week's podcast, you can hit up Tashina Nicole on Facebook, or you can email me at eddieed30@gmail.com. Again, if you want to be on next week's podcast, you can hit up Tashina Nicole on Facebook, or you can hit me up at eddieed30@gmail.com. Also, if you like what we're doing and you like our show and you think it was a pretty good show, oh, never mind. So if you like to sponsor us, if you like to sponsor the podcast, you could hit up Tashina Nicole on Facebook, or you can email me at eddieed30@gmail.com. Or if you like for us to advertise your business, if you got some kind of business you want to put out there and you want us to advertise it for you, again, hit up Tashina Nicole on Facebook, or you get your boy Eddie Ed at eddieed30@gmail.com. And lastly, if you like the show and if you would like to donate to us, there is a cash tag. There's a QR code right on the screen. All monetary gifts are accepted and appreciated. But I'm sure sometimes you can't hit the QR code. So therefore, look at the bottom of the screen real quick for me. There's a cash tag. The cash tag is $Nutz, NUTZ, Boltz, BOLTZ1. Again, it's $Nutz, Boltz1. If you want to leave us a little donation, we appreciate it. We thank you for it. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this show. And we're going to be back next week. Invite your friends. And like I say, every single week we on the podcast, I love you. God loves you. Go out and be great on purpose. Peace out, y'all.
I think my baby hot. Don't speak to any moment. Product of her environment. Shout out the global woman. Can't box her in with any trend. No, she's a global woman.